Libra, hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to be here with you always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy for the next week or so whenever you find this reading via the tarot, astrology, any channeled messages that come through. And I'll also incorporate some Ayurvedic or holistic wellness tips that we can incorporate into our daily living just to optimize our wellness, mind, body, and soul. So let's get into it. We are wrapping up Cancer season this week. We're moving into Leo season, which is nice. Definitely Cancer season has highlighted some emotions, some feelings, definitely has brought out some sensitivities that may or may not have been expected, but have arisen nonetheless, and arisen in the way that they're helping us readjust or make readjustments or look at situations, dynamics, relationships that do need some love, that do need some attention and readjustment accordingly. What I like about moving into Leo season, it's going to help empower us in order to make those necessary changes, because it is more of a me-centric energy. It's more of an energy of putting oneself first and really letting your own proverbial light shine. We do have some planets in retrograde, however. Mercury is going direct this week, but Saturn's going to go into retrograde. Neptune and Pluto are already also in retrograde, and those will be towards the end of this year that they'll stay in retrograde is what I mean. So retrogrades always slow things down, and it really makes sure that we're not missing anything, that we're kind of doing our due diligence, dotting our I's, crossing our T's. And a lot of what we're coming into, what we're facing right now, is those changes, adjustments within self. Even if someone or something else is the reason for misery in your life, it still is a requirement of to look back at how you're contributing, how you're showing up, how you're allowing certain things to get away with whatever in your life, and then make changes accordingly. Sorry, I feel like I keep saying that, but that's also why I like to start the readings off with an energy cleansing, just so we can set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked or limited. It's a really good time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you have come in with something on your heart or mind, something that you do want Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. And you can also skip over the blessing if it's not your vibe. You'll still receive the good energy always. But I do list the chapters down below, food for thought. I also offer a variety of wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're interested in that rebalancing, that realignment of self, your mind, body, soul. I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're aligned in self, when we're grounded and we feel strong and safe and secure, that's really where we're tapping into our happiness, our fulfillment, our abundance. And I would love to help support that for you in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up, Libra. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. I'm currently working on my website. So until it's up and running, definitely just shoot me an email and I cannot wait to get into touch with you. All right, with that, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, Libra. So you feel a little impatient this week, like maybe a little annoyed, maybe a little frustrated. I'm feeling like you're waiting on something, or you're waiting for something to happen and it just hasn't, or it's not, or you feel like you've been stuck in the same place for a long time. It feels, I just am picking up this frustration and annoyance. And it's not necessarily distracting you from like what you need to be doing. Like you're still putting in a good effort to some capacity. But there's something that I feel like you're just, either you feel like you haven't completely moved on from something yet, or things keep popping up in your environment that are reminding you of the past. We have the forget-me-not. And we have a lot of retrogrades right now, so it's normal for things of the past to resurface, whether it's people and situations or just energies that you're very familiar with, patterns, how they play out in your day-to-day life. So blindfold, things that are not expected that are coming in, and things that might put you into a position where you feel like it disconnects you from reality is what I'm seeing. Like, it's stuff that like you're not really paying attention to, or you feel like you've swept it. Like, you feel like you're done and over with it, or that's kind of how you're compartmentalizing it, but not quite yet. And then when things do come up, it is like you space out a little bit, or maybe it's hard to look at anything too closely with a fine-tooth comb. The microscope is in your blocked energy this week. And I think some of it is just like you don't want to go down that road. You're a very logical sign. You're an air sign, air energy. And so you make decisions with your intellect, not as much your feeling, your emotion, or that's kind of what's showing up for you right now. We have the Death card, we have the Knight of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. So it looks like a situation where things have completely changed. And this is something that just is not as grounded and stable as maybe what they've presented themselves to be. This is an energy that was meant to change at some point in time, because the Knight of Cups can't really follow through. He might have great ideas, he might have great vision, but actually taking action or completely seeing something through, committing it to it long term, is where it can be a little bit difficult. And this might be something, we'll see how the tarot plays out, but this might be something that's coming in out of left field that you're not necessarily expecting. Someone who I do feel like has maybe presented themselves to be more stable than what they actually are. Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. We do have some tension in the astrology this week as well. And it definitely comes through as competing forces. Competing forces of like what we want and how we have to, the work that we have to implement in order to get there, versus what we feel like is owed to us. There's that Knight of Cups. So you have the Magician. I like this energy. You're being really focused. You're being very focused on something in your life, something that you feel really passionate about. It might be taking you away from other people, other obligations in your life right now. Not in a bad way, but in a way that you're just trying to, like, while you have them, you want to keep the momentum up and running is what I'm hearing. And again, there might be aspects of your life that feel like they're suffering to some capacity. You might not be communicating a lot, or maybe it's hard to get a hold of you right now. But I feel like a lot of that is because of the places where there isn't much reciprocity, or half-hearted attempts that like, interesting. That, yes, feel good on the surface, but maybe don't really carry a lot of weight. These are people and dynamics that like want you to be plugging into them, but are feeling your energy distracted or looking on towards other things, like maybe even getting lost in space a little bit. Okay, interesting. You don't want to be distracted, though. You don't want to be distracted like you have been in the past. And it feels like there have been a lot of energies in your past that have tried to slow you down. But it also looks like some of that stuff is resurfacing. And maybe there's this part of you that feels like, well, if I don't really pay attention to it, then it's not going to be an issue. But that might be wishful thinking for you this week, Libra. Yeah, because it does look like with the Hermit, like you're spending a lot of time with yourself. Didn't the Hermit pop out for us as well? Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. This energy came up for us in our weekly this week. Ooh, and the Devil. Ugh. It's, here's the thing. I feel like you've had to separate yourself from an energy that didn't feel very good, or an energy that felt like maybe there was some manipulation and control. It also feels like that might be something that's continuing to play out for you as you move forward, whether this person or dynamic pops up, like if you run into them or whatever that might be. We are in Mercury retrograde. Like I said, there's a lot of other retrogrades going on like right now too. So this might just be like running into someone unexpectedly, or someone that there's a situation, a dynamic that feels like it's provoking you. It's provoking, or it's hitting some blind spots, some things that you're not completely aware of. It feels like it's a little bit of a cramp in your style. Like there's something about this that feels disconnected from you, or it's not something that you resonate with. Again, where some of this avoidance is coming into play. It's not a bad avoidance. It's something that you're not sure about, whether you do want to accept an offer that's coming in. There's that King of Pentacles again. King of Pentacles is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. And we have the Queen of Pentacles over here. So Ace of Wands. So new potential, new possibilities. But there's something about this that you don't like. Like whatever the offer is, this might even be something that feels like it matches your energy or it matches your vibration. And it might also have a lot of potential around it. But someone's struggling, suffering. Excuse me, I could not get that out. Maybe they don't even really want you to know because of how it's come around in the past. Because again, this feels like an energy that's holding on to you more than you are holding on to it. And if anything, you have options. You have options. You have other things that you're focusing on. And maybe this energy can feel your energy pulling away from them. I don't feel like they necessarily want you to walk away if you have walked away, or they're trying to maintain some type of connection so things don't get lost. It also feels like they're trying to stay connected to something or someone else, and that's creating a lot of stress. It's a bad allegiance, though, is what I'm hearing, especially if this person is relying on outside sources, outside information, or, you know, they're trying to cater to two different sides, two different parties. It feels like it's not really going well. And I feel like that's part of where you're just not really, I don't know. I'm interested. Let's clarify and see what the offer is. This Ace of Swords. What are they offering the collective? Libra collective. Okay, change. Doing it a little bit differently. Solidifying how things, like maybe actually living up to what they had initially said is what I'm hearing. Someone misrepresented themselves and now they're pulling back on their energy a little bit more. They might have become too arrogant. Like I feel like this is someone who got a little bit too big for themselves, or like put themselves up on a pedestal, a higher pedestal, higher than you at least. Or just like the reaction was misjudged. And again, because I feel like someone felt bigger than what they actually were, right? This King of Wands energy versus the Knight of Cups are night and day different, right? And it looks like someone is backtracking a little bit, wanting to change it up with you. Yeah, fresh start, new beginnings. Liking the way that your energy is coming through. Let's look at this. I want to see the... let's do Judgment first. Communication. Unexpected communications, though. With the Empress. Taurus, Libra energy. That's also your energy, Libra. And the Two of Swords. Let's do the cutting board. Is the Seven of Swords. It feels like someone has stipulations around something, though. And I feel like that's exactly what you can't really trust. Something wasn't very apparent on the surface, and it's looking a little bit different now than what's actually available to you. And it might just be because you didn't look at something close enough, like read the fine print is what I'm hearing. The offer doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel bad. And I think this is actually someone or something that does actually want to work with you to whatever capacity this is, whether it's work related or not. This could be like someone who really wants to be your friend and is trying to show that they're a good friend too, even though the efforts fall a little bit flat. I want to clarify this High Priestess as well. What is this High Priestess energy? Like, it's almost like they know if they're completely transparent with you, what I'm hearing is that they will lose the opportunity. So maybe they're trying to like draw it out a little bit more, or I'm hearing for some of you, it's like they're trying to scramble to find ways. Yeah, with this Knight of Wands, they're trying to scramble to find ways to keep you around, to keep you interested. Because I think that they need you. I think that they need you more than you need them, but you might be overqualified. You might be overqualified, or it might not be the best fit, right? But I think a lot of that is going to come through how you deliberate around this. And that's exactly where this microscope is going to work in your benefit. Right now, it's in your blocked energy. So don't take things at face value right now, or make sure that if you are making a commitment to something, that you are asking the right questions. The questions that are going to support you, that are going to protect you, that are going to keep the lines of communication open and clear. Because it does look like you could be not swindled. I don't see this as that, but I do see that someone's not being 100% transparent. And there's reasoning behind it. Either they know that you're not going to like it, or they know that you're not going to be on board if they are, or there's just something around it that feels like a little bit weird, a little bit off, something that they are trying to hide. Eternal energy. Maybe they're trying to siphon off your energy a little bit, Libra. Because like I said, it looks like it benefits them more than it benefits you. And not to throw shade to anybody, but the way that this energy is coming up with that the Queen of Pentacles and the Devil, they're not being honest with themselves either. And again, it might be some justifications, underlying pattern. I love it. I love when the cards confirm exactly what the messages are. There is an underlying pattern that you do need to be aware of. And I feel like this situation is popping up so that you can really scrutinize and understand how this patterning is playing out. But then you also want to make sure that you're doing something about it, right? And that's kind of where the tension in the astrology is really frustrating for us, because it is self-reliant. It is indicative of you making the changes, always evolving, right? Like we're never the same. We're never the same. The things that we move through in life, our body, our mind, our soul, is always changing. It's always growing. It's always evolving. Our wants and our needs are going to look different every day, day in and day out. And it feels like whatever this is, if you linked up with it a while ago, or even if it is something kind of new, kind of fresh, it looks like it's representing some old patterning in your life that hasn't really been serving you. We got this message in our weekly forecast. 2222 was on the clock as I was saying it, and that really represents our partnerships. It represents our partnerships, how we are partnering up with people. I know we had that 2 of Cups, and what they're actually contributing, right? Partnership goes both ways. It's not just one-sided. And it feels like if you're too lost in the clouds, if you're too lost in the fantasies, the ideals, but not enough grounded in the reality, not that it has to be over scrutinization, but I think it's going to benefit you a lot to really vet whatever you're doing, whatever you're inviting in, especially if it is something that's helping you level up. You want to make sure that it actually can deliver, that it's not just something that's being told to you. And then once you get involved in it, it's like, well, this is not what I signed up for at all. And I feel like that some of the patternings that are coming up, some of the patternings that are maybe coming out of left field for you this week, but it also looks like, Libra, you're smart enough around this. And I think you're going to get enough of a wake-up call around this at the end of the week, or whenever this exchange takes place. It's going to help you not launch yourself back into an old cycle of karma, something that really isn't serving you anymore, something that you have been like really trying to like separate yourself from. And I definitely see you doing that. It is taking some efforting, and it is taking a level of awareness. Something that I think is maybe not incredibly apparent on the surface, but as the interactions progress, you're going to know. And you're going to know fairly quickly. This is not something that's going to take months to find out or whatever. Like, this is something that either you're going to be seeing a red flag or an orange flag, something like that. And then it's going to be like, okay, maybe I need to like pump the brakes a little bit, backtrack a little bit, or just kind of have a conversation to see where things are at. And that conversation is definitely going to allow you to make the necessary choices that you need to make. It just might feel a little bit annoying. Like, I don't know, that annoyance that I was picking up in the very beginning, I don't know if that leaves you this week. I think it's the frustration of certain things not working out, not following through. But it's also because you're unlearning some of these, or unleashing is what I was hearing, or releasing some of these old patterns. So I hope this helps, Libra. Godspeed to whatever you're endeavoring this week. I'm wishing you all the love, all the blessings as you navigate through. I hope you found messages that serve you here, that help you and support you in whatever way possible. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to connect. I love to hear from you, or just say, hey, sharing a little love, little TLC. I really appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel, especially if you've made it this far in the reading. Just know that it really helps, and I appreciate it always. I hope that you have a fabulous week, and I will see you next time. Talk to you soon. All the love, all the blessings your way.